Good morning, friends. It's Tuesday, the 4th of March, 2025, and it's time for your news from dinarrecaps.com. Note, all intel should be considered as rumors until we receive official announcements, and rates and dates could change anytime until we get to the bank's redemption centers. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via a GCR. Update as of Month 3rd, March 2025. Compiled Monmouth 3rd, March 2025 AM EST by Judy Byington. Possible timing. March 4th, 1861 was the day Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated as the 16th President of the Republic. On Tuesday, 4th March 2025, 64 years later, President Trump is making a major announcement to a joint session of Congress that is mandatory for all to attend. Sun, 2nd March 2025, Ariel on X. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is for the new republic that basically begins on Tuesday, 4 March, when President Trump addresses both houses of Congress. On Sunday, 2nd March 2025, the Iraqi Minister of Finance allegedly announced the new dinar rate would go on the Forex. On Sunday, 2nd March 2025, the IMF approved the release of the Iraqi dinar as a reserve currency. What we think we know as of month 3rd of March 2025. Sun 2nd March 2025, Trump and Musk's Doge investigation will be auditing Fort Knox regarding the existence of gold reserves. As of 15th of September 2024, the QFS was allegedly fully operational and went live on SAT 1st March 2025 for over 130 countries, confirmed in the military-secured gold-backed QFS as they rolled out the global currency reset. The IRS is allegedly undergoing dismantling processes following Trump's executive order on February 10, 2025, transitioning away from income taxation. The U.S. debt is poised to be eliminated, triggering a worldwide banking panic amid the GCR RV. Sun, March 2, 2025, Doge investigation, government waste. Elon Musk revealed substantial government waste tied to Navy funding during his appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast. Courtesy of Dinar Guru, Frank 26 reported that the Iraqi dinar is expected to gain strength, projected to surpass the Kuwaiti currency and possibly other currencies in the Middle East. The Iraqi dinar will remain necessary for domestic commerce while also embracing digital currencies for efficiency in cross-border payments. Gold Rush Hour. Economic journalist Taylor Kenny and ITM Trading President Eric Griffin discussed the accelerating currency reset and central bank digital currencies. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Ripple unlocks 1B XRP as Trump adds it to US crypto reserve. Price jumps 30%. Ripple unlocked 1 billion XRP on March 3rd, but relocked 700 million tokens into escrow after Trump's crypto reserve announcement. Whale Alert reported major XRP movements, with 500 million XRP sent to two different wallets. XRP's price hit $2.60, but faces resistance at $3. If it breaks through, the next target could be $3.40, its January high. As part of the monthly release of 1 billion XRP tokens, Ripple unlocked another 1 billion XRP on the 3rd of March before relocking the 700 million XRP tokens into an escrow wallet. This came after U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Truth Social that select cryptocurrencies, including XRP, were added to the new U.S. crypto strategic reserves. Following this news, XRP, the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap, surged 30% in a day, reaching a market cap of $150 billion. On March 3rd, blockchain tracker Whale Alert reported the release of 1 billion XRP from Ripple's escrow accounts, worth around $2.6 billion in multiple transactions. The first 500 million XRP was sent in two batches, 100 million first, followed by 400 million to the wallet RGKHD2BH. However, shortly after, another 500 million XRP was sent in a single transaction to the wallet RHGFM SBQR. Despite unlocking 1 billion XRP, Ripple did not release all of it into the market. Instead, 700 million XRP was locked back into escrow. The first wallet received 500 million XRP but has not moved it yet. The second wallet, which also received 500 million XRP, quickly moved that amount to another Ripple wallet, which then locked it back in escrow. If Ripple follows its typical monthly pattern, another 100 million XRP might be locked, leaving only 200 million XRP in circulation. Following these events, XRP's price surged 17%, reaching $2.60 at the time of writing. In the past 24 hours, it has gained 30%, pushing its market cap to $150 billion. However, technical indicators suggest that XRP is now facing resistance at the $3 level, which could slow down its rally. If buyers break past this level, the next target could be $3.40, its January high. XRP's bullish surge signals growing confidence. Whether it can sustain this momentum is the real question. Additionally, in news from Polygon, the CEO Mark Boyron stated that tokenizing real estate can transform investing, despite facing challenges. According to Boyron, tokenization of properties could eliminate intermediaries, lowering transaction costs. He highlighted the importance of liquidity and the potential for fractional ownership in the investment market. This tokenization trend is gaining traction globally, particularly in regions like the United States and the UAE, with companies exploring alternatives to traditional financing structures to enhance property ownership and investment accessibility. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Reasons for the decrease in the temporary dollar exchange rate in Iraq. The specialist in economic affairs, Nasser Al-Tamimi, commented on the ongoing decrease in the dollar exchange rate in local markets. He explained that this decline is temporary, attributed to the lack of demand during the month of Ramadan, which impacts consumer spending in dollars, particularly on items like cars and real estate. Al-Tamimi anticipates that the exchange rate will rise again, especially with the approaching Eid al-Fitr, after which it is expected to stabilize between 150 and 151 dinars per $100. He noted that the current decrease is not due to persistent economic remedies, but rather a result of a temporary lack of demand. Additionally, the Central Bank of Iraq announced a significant growth of 45.1% in gold reserves, rising from $12.29 trillion in the fourth quarter of 2023 to $17.83 trillion dinars in the same quarter of 2024. This growth is seen as beneficial for economic stability. In oil news, Iraq's exports to America have decreased, with recent statistics showing an export of 228,000 barrels per day, down from 257,000 barrels the previous week. Meanwhile, the state oil marketing company, SOMO, reported that Iraq exported over 4 million tons of petroleum derivatives in the fourth quarter of 2024. Oil prices are also experiencing fluctuations, as they recorded their first monthly loss since November, impacted by market uncertainties and geopolitical events. Gold prices have dropped recently, but saw monthly gains, emphasizing the current volatility in the commodity markets. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Thank you, Mark Z, for all your time and encouragement daily. PDK, Mark Z update, some highlights by PDK. Not verbatim. Mark Z disclaimer, please consider everything on this call as my opinion. People who take notes do not catch everything, and it's best to watch the video so that you get everything in context. Be sure to consult a professional for any financial decisions. Members expressed both optimism and frustration regarding the RV process, with one noting the quietness in Dinar land over the weekend. Mark Z mentioned a significant amount of hype for the following day, referring to high expectations surrounding the RV. He noted that despite repeated announcements of it being time, the community has become numb to such claims. He explained potential high-impact events scheduled, including Trump's State of the Union address and Kurdistan's oil operations commencing. Mark Z indicated that many historic bond contacts were expected to finalize contracts on Tuesday, while discussing economic reforms in Iraq that could lead to a rise in the dinar's value. He also addressed Iran's financial turmoil and efforts to recover embezzled funds. In discussions about cryptocurrency, he mentioned strategic reserves, potentially including Bitcoin and Ethereum, which could revolutionize financial systems. He emphasized that the current situation may be closer to a potential RV than ever before. The report concluded with a reminder that the content is intended for general education purposes and should not be considered professional advice. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. New York Fed Gold Vault. Your gold and silver investment is about to become priceless. E.B. Tucker. Money Sense 3/3/2025, a potential gold revaluation presents a unique, non-default pathway for managing the United States' surging national debt. The discussion extends beyond simple market pricing, with central banks showing renewed interest in physical gold and a global trend toward repatriating tangible assets. E.B. Tucker explains that if gold reaches $4,000 per ounce, U.S. reserves would be worth $27 trillion, about half the U.S. stock market's valuation. He highlights that stocks are a uniquely American asset, contrasting them with the London Stock Exchange, which struggles to retain major companies. It took gold a decade to appreciate from $2,000 to $3,000, and according to our charts, the market is behaving similarly to 2011, a peak that lasted a decade. Thus, moving from $3,000 to $4,000 might take another decade. If so, the interest payments on an equivalent amount of debt would roughly wipe out the price gain. Reflecting on his personal experience, Tucker recalls visiting the New York Fed Gold Vault in 2001. He notes that institutional investors avoid physical gold, preferring futures and contracts since physical metal is lately seen as dead money that doesn't generate returns. However, recent developments have raised concerns over the accuracy and transparency of these reserves. Speculation about potential shortages or overstatements in U.S. gold reserves could significantly impact financial markets, inflation expectations, and investor sentiment. Tucker emphasizes J.P. Morgan's near-silver crisis due to the Wall Street silver movement. He explains that institutions avoid holding physical metals, preferring to lease gold and create complex financial instruments. Recently, gold deliveries on the COMEX have reached record levels, a clear indicator of the explosion in demand for physical gold. This phenomenon could create a snowball effect, prompting other major institutions and central banks to step up their delivery demands, putting further pressure on the system as a whole. Looking at major fundamentals, E.B. Tucker argues that gold's price movements over the past few years were due to a well-managed, financialized market rather than external factors like tariffs. He explains that large-scale futures trading was used to control price volatility, but recent declines in futures volume indicate a shift in market dynamics. Strength in gold earlier this month is linked to increased safe haven demand, increasing expectations of accelerated Federal Reserve interest rate cuts, and growing inflows into gold-backed exchange-traded funds. Since December, over 600 tons of gold have been transferred to New York City vaults, according to the World Gold Council. Gold has not been a direct target of tariffs, but market reactions to trade uncertainty have driven a significant shift in trading behavior and impacted the gold price. The movement of gold from London to the US, rising COMEX premiums, and concerns over availability were largely the result of risk management decisions rather than true supply issues. And this ends this report. Here's our next report from dinarrecaps.com. The National Security Service in Iraq announced the arrest of individuals involved in counterfeit currency and unmarked gold dealings. This operation led to the seizure of 3,400 counterfeit US dollars and various amounts of counterfeit Iraqi dinars in Baghdad. Additionally, an illegal commercial complex in Dinar was raided, resulting in the confiscation of unmarked gold, usurious loan documentation, and a large amount of cash. Reports also indicated the arrest of a gang in Diwania linked to counterfeit currency exchange, with over 215,000 counterfeit US dollars recovered. Meanwhile, Mazhar Mohammad Salih, financial advisor to the Prime Minister, highlighted the shift towards official currency trading due to geopolitical pressures, aiming to reduce informal market reliance. Iraq has increased investment in associated gas, with rates rising from 53% to over 67%, and plans to stop gas flaring by 2028. The reopening of the Iraq-Turkey pipeline has caused fluctuations in oil prices, with expectations of increased supply despite OPEC+ constraints. The Kurdistan region's oil exports to Turkey are set to resume, with initial allocations of 185,000 barrels per day. In a significant political development, the Iranian parliament dismissed Finance Minister Abdel-Nasser Hamadi due to high inflation and the currency collapse, where the rial traded over 920,000 to the US dollar on the black market. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. 9 biggest mistakes high-income, high-net-worth millennials make. Thomas Kopelman highlights that wealth does not equate to financial expertise, and high net worth individuals often make significant financial errors. These mistakes can be even more costly due to the larger sums involved. He outlines 9 common pitfalls to help avoid them. 1. Thinking their income will always be there. High earners often assume their income is guaranteed, which is risky. Job loss, disability, or business failure can all threaten income stability. Diversification and emergency savings are essential. 2. Making their finances too complex. As wealth accumulates, individuals may feel compelled to invest in numerous ventures, leading to disorganization and lack of liquidity. Keeping finances simple is often the best strategy. 3. Taking on too much unneeded risk. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, RMN, announced the creation of the first-ever Congressional Crypto Caucus, which aims to unite pro-industry lawmakers in voting as a bloc on key legislation. This announcement follows President Donald Trump's directive to establish a crypto strategic reserve, a federal stockpile of digital assets that will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and XRP. The bipartisan caucus is co-led by Emmer and Representative Richie Torres and positions itself as a group dedicated to supporting open and private innovation in the crypto space. In related news, the heated interaction between Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky during a White House visit has drawn critical reactions from BRICS member Brazil. President Luiz Lula da Silva condemned Trump's treatment of Zelensky as grotesque and disrespectful, highlighting the potential diplomatic fallout in Europe as the EU aims to hold Russia accountable. Additionally, the U.S. Senate is poised to vote on a controversial IRS regulation requiring crypto brokers to provide detailed transaction reports. Critics fear this regulation could impede innovation within the decentralized finance sector, prompting lawmakers like Senator Ted Cruz and Cynthia Lummis to introduce a resolution for its repeal. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. How gold is valued and why 25 CAD or $55 makes sense in a revaluation scenario, Tavi Costa. Kitco News, 3/3/2025. What do historical financial crises tell us about today's market? Kitco News anchor Jeremy Safran interviews Tavi Costa, partner and macro strategist Crescat Capital, on the sidelines of PDAC in Toronto. Costa discusses the rare convergence of demand for gold from both Eastern and Western economies, and why he believes silver is on the verge of a significant move back to its all-time highs. Costa analyzes the potential impact of revaluing gold prices and inventories, referencing historical comparisons to the 1940s and 1970s. He also touches on the U.S. dollar's overvaluation and potential strategies for investors in response to these macro trends, including opportunities in emerging markets and natural resources. Key points include gold revaluation could reach $24,000 to $55,000 per ounce based on historical comparisons. Dollar overvaluation, the U.S. dollar is at its most overvalued level in 120 years. Silver's potential. Silver is showing positive short-term action. Derivatives of gold are looking attractive near-term. Investment strategy. Consider rebalancing investments from tech to commodities and emerging markets. Other important updates include an urgent warning from Mike Maloney on a potential historic market crash, highlighting extreme stock market valuations and unprecedented debt levels. His insights focus on the renewed attention towards gold as a protective asset and the implications of Federal Reserve policies. Key takeaways include learning about critical market signals that have predicted past crashes, understanding the shift of capital from speculative stocks into gold, and recognizing that record-high consumer debt might foretell a harsh economic reality. Lastly, Greg Manarino warns that without direct and immediate intervention, the U.S. economy has only 6 months left. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. 5 things wealthy parents teach their kids that the middle class might not. Don Alcott reports that it's often said that the rich get richer, especially in the United States, where it is easier to build wealth if you already have money to invest, a financial education, and successful parents to guide you. For example, Jeff Bezos' parents provided close to $250,000 in startup capital for Amazon, demonstrating that support goes beyond just financial backing. Wealthy parents instill important lessons in their children, such as emphasizing the importance of earning over simply receiving allowances, and fostering a perspective that views money as a tool rather than an end goal. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. BRICS, Brazil reiterates need to end US dollar. Will 150% tariffs follow? The ongoing tension between the global South and West has been a key matter of geopolitical uncertainty that may only take a step forward as the BRICS 2025 president, Brazil, has reiterated its need to end the US dollar as 150% tariffs loom large over the nation. Speaking on the alliance's operations, Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva noted that the group will not cease its de-dollarization approach. However, that may come with steep consequences. Indeed, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that there will be import taxes levied on nations that he views are seeking to destroy the greenback. Brazil recommitted to ditching the U.S. dollar. Will it face Trump's 150% tariffs? The BRICS Economic Alliance operates on a rotating chairmanship model. This means that the alliance will be under the guidance of a shifting presidency, with one nation taking the mantle at the start of the year. In 2025, it is Brazil that is taking that position, and it is already standing firm on what it expects of the bloc. Amid the growing tension between BRICS and the United States, Brazil has reiterated its need to end the U.S. dollar dominance despite 150% tariffs being threatened on such countries. Earlier this year, the bloc rejected a BRICS currency plan. However, that hasn't forced it to change its tone on the group's relationship with the greenback. U.S. President Donald Trump's threats of tariffs won't stop the group's determination to seek alternative platforms for payments between member countries, Brazil's president said. Now, whether or not they face those promised Trump tariffs will depend on how the U.S. president views the action. Last week, Trump said any BRICS state that even mentions the destruction of the dollar will be charged a 150% tariff. The bloc has yet to claim to be seeking the greenback's destruction. Therefore, will the pursuit of alternative payment methods trigger the tariff? Moreover, is Brazil's position opposing a BRICS currency freeing it from those threats? It certainly became the main focus of the geopolitical sector over the next several months. At Newshounds News, watch your guru. CC drops lawsuit against Kraken, ending politically motivated campaign. The dropped lawsuit follows dismissals of other SEC lawsuits and investigations against other cryptocurrency companies like Coinbase and Gemini. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has agreed to drop its lawsuit against Kraken, the cryptocurrency exchange revealed on March 3rd. The move ends what the exchange calls a wasteful, politically motivated campaign and clears the path toward a stable, forward-thinking regulatory regime. According to Kraken, the lawsuit is being dismissed with prejudice, with no admission of wrongdoing, no penalties paid, and no changes to Kraken's business. The SEC sued Kraken in November 2023, alleging that the exchange acted as a broker, dealer, exchange, and clearing agency without registering with the SEC. The SEC, under Gary Gensler's leadership, was prone to a policy of regulation by enforcement, suing or investigating crypto companies such as Coinbase, Uniswap, and non-fungible marketplace OpenSea for a variety of reasons. This approach was widely criticized in the industry for stifling innovation, targeting legitimate crypto companies instead of going after bad actors. The SEC's latest actions may reflect the changing environment of the U.S. government regarding crypto. Kraken writes about its case. This case was never about protecting investors. It and other enforcement actions clouded instead of clarified. It undermined a nascent industry that repeatedly urged clear rules of the road. A shifting regulatory climate. Since the change in SEC leadership, the agency has dismissed or is rumored to drop various lawsuits and investigations that began during Gensler's tenure. On February 27th, it dismissed its lawsuit against Coinbase. Previously, it had dropped lawsuits or investigations against Consensus, Uniswap, OpenSea, Gemini, and Robinhood. The moves come as the U.S. is shaping up for increased regulatory clarity surrounding digital assets. On February 7th, U.S. lawmakers introduced a stablecoin bill to boost dollar dominance. It is possible that lawmakers may introduce a general crypto regulation bill that is a stronger version of FIT 21. In addition, there are further tailwinds. U.S. President Donald Trump, who wants to make the U.S. the world capital of crypto, has announced plans for a crypto strategic reserve consisting of BTC, ETH, XRP, SOL, and ADA. The president will be hosting the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th. At Newshounds News, source Cointelegraph, Hester Peirce seeks new crypto task force amid policy shift. Securities and Exchange Commission has officially released the list of members for its crypto task force, which brings together advisors from key divisions. This follows a memo published by Commissioner Hester Peirce on March 3rd on the official SEC website. According to the memo, the task force consists of staff from Acting Chairman Mark Uieda's office, along with representatives from multiple divisions within the agency. Peirce highlighted the team's experience and commitment to addressing complex crypto regulatory challenges, stating that the Crypto Task Force is composed of knowledgeable and dedicated staff focused on developing practical regulatory solutions for the industry. She also emphasized that the team would collaborate with other SEC experts and engage with the public to shape effective crypto regulations. SEC's new crypto-focused team. The task force includes Richard Gabbert as Chief of Staff, Michael Selig as Chief Counsel, and Taylor Asher as Chief Policy Advisor. Additional members include Samira Yunus, Chief of Operations, Landon Zinda, Senior Advisor, and multiple senior advisors such as Donald Battle, Bernard Nolan, and Laura Powell. Peirce has long been an advocate for clear and fair regulations in the crypto sector. Her latest initiative follows ongoing calls from industry leaders for more regulatory clarity. This development aligns with a broader trend within the SEC to reevaluate its stance on cryptocurrency oversight. Under the previous administration, the agency intensified enforcement actions against crypto firms, imposing significant penalties. For instance, in 2024 alone, the agency imposed fines totaling $4.68 billion on crypto businesses, accounting for 68% of its lifetime penalties in this sector. However, recent months have seen a notable shift. The SEC has closed investigations into several prominent crypto entities, including Gemini, Coinbase, OpenSea, Uniswap Labs, Robinhood Crypto, Consensus, and lately Kraken. This move suggests a more lenient regulatory approach under the current administration. At Newshounds News, source Crypto News. And that ends all the news from dinarrecaps.com. We hope this brings value to your day. If so, please like and subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when our reports are uploaded. Thank you for joining us, and have a great Tuesday.